Hello everyone and welcome to video 17 in the OCR A-PE Anatomy and Physiology series. In today's video we're going to be looking at strength training. So by the end of today's video we should be able to state what the different types of strength are, what the factors affecting your strength are, what the different ways of evaluating an athlete's strength are, what the different methods of training to develop an athlete's strength are, and what are the long-term adaptations of strength training. So pause the video here guys and jot down these definitions. What these are the different types of strength that you have. So let's start looking at the factors that affect your strength. So there's two main factors. The first one is the muscle fiber type being recruited. So fast glycolytic or FG muscle fibers have the greatest speed and force of contraction. So motor units contained in these fast glycolytic fibers are large, about 700 fibers each, so have the highest explosive and maximum strength. The second factor we need to look at is the cross-sectional area of the muscle. So the larger the cross-sectional area of the muscle, the greater the strength and force contraction. And this is, so age, gender and training all affect that cross-sectional area of the muscle. The next thing we need to know about is the 5 different methods of evaluating a performer's strength. So basically, there's 5 tests. So the first one is the abdominal curl test, which is performing sit-ups with progressively increasing bleep until failure, and the score is based on the time you've obtained. So basically, say there's a bleep every 5 seconds, and it progresses down to every 1 second, and the total duration of time that you can manage to do sit-ups to in time with the beep, that's the score. And then you look at the standardized results table, and that will test your strength endurance. Second one is another strength endurance test, is the press-up test. So the performer completes as many reps as possible until failure. There's no bleep and there's no time limit. It's just based on the number of reps that you obtain. The third one is the one repetition max test. So using a piece of equipment, free weight or machine to test the strength of a specific muscle group. The score is based on the total amount of weight lifted, and this will test your maximum strength. Secondly is the grip strength dynamometer. Basically, you have 3 attempts with your right and left hand to squeeze the grip, and the results are based on the best score obtained. Between each attempt, you must dial it back to 0, and this will again test your maximum strength. Final one is the vertical jump test. Now, this will test your explosive / elastic strength. So, the performer marks standing vertical reach with chalk onto a wall. Then they bend down and they jump up as high as they possible into the air and mark their new vertical reach. The score is based on the difference between the 2 marks. So the benefits of these tests are if equipment is available and affordable, if there are standardized tables available, if their specific muscle groups can be isolated, and if there is a clear procedure that gives valid and reliable results. However, there are disadvantages of these tests, but not for everyone, of course. So if a test has a disadvantage, put one of these 3. Equipment is expensive, specific muscle groups cannot be isolated, and technique can be open to interpretation, so it doesn't give reliable results. Moving forward, we need to understand 4 types of training to develop your strength. Now, before we jump into those types of training, let's just look at this table up here quick, and it shows you the difference between the type of strength that you want to improve, and then gives you an idea look at the reps, sets, and resistance required to train that sort of strength. So pause the video quickly and jot down that table and learn those key figures. So once you've got down that table, guys, look at the first piece of equipment, which we will look at a multi-gym. So basically, it's a piece of equipment with a range of stations and adjustable weight stack, which means, say, on this thing, you could do tricep pushdowns, you could do cable crossovers, you could do a seated back row, you can do bicep curls, so multiple different weights. And the movement of weight is controlled by the pulley system, which makes it very safe. Next thing we need to look at is free weight, so dumbbells and barbells to work specific muscle groups. These are great as it is easy to progress, as we know, and also it increases the static strength of those stabilizers and fixators as they actually support these lifts. The next one we need to understand is plyometrics. So basically, in plyometrics, we are taking advantage of the stretch reflex, which is a contraction of a muscle as a response to being stretched as a defense mechanism. And we will look more of that in the next video at flexibility training. So basically, you perform an eccentric contraction and then immediately followed by an explosive concentric contraction, which helps you build the explosive strength. The final one we need to understand is circuit training. So basically, you have periods of work in different stations performing different exercises, followed by periods of recovery. Recovery may be actual rest or while a different muscle group is being trained. So basically, say you did press-ups at one station, you are training your chest, your deltoids and your triceps as the primary movers. But then the next station you do sit-ups, so your core's now working. And the next one you do box jumps, so then your legs are working. So basically, while your legs are working, your chest is recovering. And this also helps to develop your muscular endurance. So let's quickly look at the long-term adaptations to strength training. There is muscular and connective tissue adaptations, neural adaptations, and metabolic adaptations. So the muscular ones is you get muscular hypertrophy, so an increase in size, muscular hyperplasia, which is an increase in the number of muscle fibers, and increased strength of ligaments and tendons, which reduce the chance of injuries. The neural adaptations are increased recruitment of the motor units containing the fast glycolytic and fast oxidative glycolytic muscle fibers, which, as we know, for greater force contraction, so increase your maximal strength. And there's also delayed stretch reflex, allowing for greater force of the agonist, as it has a larger range of motion to generate that force. Think of it as golf swing. You wouldn't just, if you were going for a drive, you wouldn't just move the golf swing back about 30 centimetres and then hit it. No, you know what they do. They put it up, they put it over their shoulder, they get a large range of motion, they strike the ball. That's basically the same thing here. And metabolic adaptations increase your anaerobic fuel stores, so you're able to train with that kind of strength training sort of thing easier because you have more glycogen there to fuel that ATP synthesis. Increased anaerobic energy enzyme activity as well, and improved your buffering capacity. So you can more easily. It's like the delay of Obler, really. The effect that lactic acid has on your muscles is less, so that you're less resistant to the effect of lactic acid. So let's quickly recap what we've learned in this video. So we can now explain what the different types of strength are. We can understand the factors affecting your strength. We understand what the different ways of evaluating an athlete's strength are. We know what the different methods of training to develop an athlete's strength is. And we understand the long-term adaptations to strength training. Moving into the next video, however, we are going to look at flexibility training. So we need to understand what the different types of flexibility are, what the different ways of evaluating flexibility are, what the different methods of training flexibility are, and what the long-term adaptations to flexibility training are. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please share it with your friends who are also studying A-Level PE, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.